The podcast that you're about to listen to does not care about your emotions, your hypersensitivity, or your political correctness. If you wish to continue, then
shut up and sit down.
Fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight, never running from a real fight. She is the one named Sailor Moon. She will never turn her back on a friend. She is always there to defend. She is the one on whom we can depend. She is the one named Sailor Venus, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter. Secret powers are so new to her. She is the one named Sailor Moon.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. You're listening to the Alpha 5 podcast. With me today is Jonah,
What's up, cuz?
John,
what up?
Fabian. I am Frank, a.k.a. PJ. And in from Puerto Rico on that FaceTime with us is Ray.
Buyaka. Buyaka, buyaka, Rique renuncia.
We're happy to have him. He's been running around all over the place. That island had a piece of you in every way. Elaborate for us, Ray. Tell us what you've been doing out there.
I don't
man.
know in every way. I don't know in every way.
I mean,
But in quite
I was about
different.
that's not what we
quite a few
heard. That's not what you
different
told us
ways.
off air,
I was
but
about to say,
What,
pause,
bro?
Like, pause. What is that?
I don't know, man. I haven't gotten wasted, so I pretty much remember everything.
you think.
Yeah. Well, right now there's a lot going on over here in Puerto Rico. Besides the mission that we had with Helping Hands for Puerto Rico in Vieques, actually while we were out there, this whole Rickygate scandal came out where on Telegram, about almost 900 pages, 889 pages of him and his private chat was leaked, and some really, really nasty stuff was found out. A lot of dirt.
Dirt from who?
Dirt from the governor, a couple of his assistants. A couple weeks before that, the Secretary of Education was arrested. They proved Trump right in regards to corruption on this island. And it's really sad because with everything that's been going on, the debt just before Maria and Irma, and then Irma, which put us into, Maria, which put us into more debt, and now all these corrupt people being found out. And it's a real big change that's taking place right now. Over 1 million people were protesting on the streets of San Juan.
How many?
Over 1 million.
1 million people? I didn't even know there was 1 million
Yes.
people on that island.
Word, that's crazy.
No, legit. I really didn't know there was 1 million people on the island.
Yeah,
San Juan's
there's
not that big.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been.
No,
one
San Juan's
time,
not
and
that
it's
big, but
big.
if you find out on the map, if you see on the map, there's a map that they had that showed the 1 million mark. Yeah, man, it's been pretty crazy. There's been slight vandalism, but not too much, and I think the voice was heard. Actually, Ricky Rosselló only had about 600,000 votes to make him governor. So now we got over 1 million people,
Showing
calling
out.
for his renounce.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. And the other day, I don't know if you guys saw on Fox News, this dude, Shepard Smith, destroyed him, demolished.
Damn, word.
Demolished.
What do you mean?
Guys ever
Like,
get a chance to check that out? Yeah, you just ask them some crazy questions like, who's supporting you now? Who's actually supporting you to be governor? And you got over 1 million people that want you out, yet you don't want to get out. And Puerto Rico's a small island. What are you doing to survive over there? Aren't you afraid of what's going to happen to you if you even show face? So I actually think he was in somewhere. He wasn't even in Fortaleza anymore, which is the capital. I think he went to hide out somewhere in Dorado.
wow.
So
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know that he came out talking about, that he won't run again and all that, but he's like, I'm gonna sit this term through and continue to fight corruption, but it's like, dude, like you're the corrupt. So how do
You're
you
part of the reason why.
how do you fight against
Yep.
that? Like you're gonna essentially kick yourself out then, which is kind of the point of what the people want.
Yep.
So
Is this what revolution looks like?
when the people,
The revolution will be televised.
Yeah, man.
I believe people were even down in what's it called, the Grand Central.
Really?
Yeah, there was
protesting.
yeah,
there?
there was a bunch of
Wow. I know
Boricuas down in Grand Central that like
Yeah. This is
Guys,
yeah.
together,
This
becoming-
exceeds Puerto Rico. This protests in Florida, in Chicago, New York. There's all over where there's a large population of Puerto Ricans. You best believe they out there protesting.
Yeah, I know, but in mainland America, they have a tendency to not give a fuck about brown people when they do shit like that. And it's like eventually, I guess it depends on how far it gets.
yeah, but
Like,
see,
when is the government gonna say, all right? Because I mean, I'm sure there's a
There-
lot of it is peaceful, but there's a lot of anger.
yeah, but see,
And
here's
when
the
anger comes,
here's the thing though, right? Trump's been saying this
yeah,
about Puerto Rico, right? So
Trump's been saying that Puerto Rico's corrupt.
that Puerto
Yeah.
Rico's corrupt, that they're
No,
responsible
the leaders,
for
the
a lot of
leaders.
their own shit and put themselves in this position and so on and so forth, right? So to what you're saying, they're gonna let this shit rock for a while. They're going to let it rock because it supports the administration and the claims that the administration makes. So all that face that publicly they were losing, right? And how you gonna talk shit about Puerto Rico? It's the Commonwealth and this and that, right? They're getting that back.
Yeah.
If you really look at it, because now this shit comes out, now the people are waking up, right? Yeah, they didn't like it, but now you can't be like that's fucked up. Like, nah, it was true. Like
Yeah.
it's backwards in how it worked out, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
not right how it transpired, but really it backs the politicians.
I mean, I think that people knew there was corruption in Puerto Rico before Trump said anything.
Yeah,
Right,
but
but
probably a lot of it wasn't like put to light. Like I mean, because
he
I
came
mean,
out
it's
and
the
said
government.
it.
They know shit. If he's the head of state, they always hear shit that's going on. There's rumors of this happening. It happens to all the states. This governor's corrupt. This
But-
the Commonwealth has come around. So they
POTUS
hear that, but
normally
there's no
doesn't say
proof.
that.
So when you say, "Oh yeah, it's corrupt," then everybody just be pointing fingers because you're not gonna expose the intel that you got because then that becomes a problem. So you just almost got to deal with the allegations that you're just calling out Puerto Rico because of whatever you are. But when it comes down to it, it's like, well, I'm hearing this and I'm hearing that, and I want to tell you, and then you find out the government officials are corrupt, which I'm glad this is happening because now the people are standing with everybody else that's saying this is fucked up. We got to do something about that.
So,
You know
what
what I mean?
are you trying to say that the people are standing with the people that was just shitting on them, like Trump and them? Like, I guess so. Since
No, not shitting. It's different between shitting on a group of people and shitting on the government officials that run the shit, which is hence the reason like I can't stand a lot of the government, but I love being American. I love the American people. So there's a difference there. So the people that run the country versus the people that fucking
okay, all
the
right,
country itself.
a
and the
little
people
a little sidebar, but the people who run the country are elected officials, right?
Correct.
Mostly. So no, I'm just saying mostly. That's how it's run. You know what I'm saying? So we the people put them in those positions to make our laws to be fucked up.
You're right, absolutely.
So in all reality, it's like you can say, yeah, I hate the politicians and stuff like that. But there are people with your ideologies and your ideals that put those fucked up people in office, and now everybody's like drain swap. So I guess my point is, how can we be mad at a government that we put in place?
it's not. I see what you're saying. and
false
it makes-
pretense, because a lot of them run on false pretense. They tell you
it
things.
makes. I know exactly what you mean, and that you're absolutely right about that, and there's no doubt about it. The problem is that it's almost you fronting, and that's the toughest part when it comes to politics. Is like finding the politician who actually is going to do what they say and who isn't fronting. So I mean, yes, we put him in power, but it's not. You know.
So in the case of Puerto Rico, that they, I guess they choose who's empowering, right? They have a governor, so they get to vote on the governor there, right? Am I wrong?
Right. What do you? Oh, you want to look? You want
The
to say
people-
something, bro?
I'm asking.
Well,
do the people of Puerto Rico get to vote on their governor?
the thing is, if for example, There's over 3 million people living in Puerto Rico. Only 600 and something thousand voted for this dude.
Well, how many voted in general? That's probably
Exactly.
That's probably a
so that
better
means
question
that
too.
that's a small percentage. That's what I don't even know
That's
what
true.
the
There
percentage
might
It's
be-
less than
it's-
it's less than a
it's-
third. It's
it's
like a
less
quarter
than-
of the people.
It's less than 50. As long as it's less than 50, then nobody should have won. Then whoever, you know what I'm saying? Whoever got the most votes should have won.
And for example, when it comes to even voting for
I
statehood
had
or
no idea there was
independence,
3 million people on that island, bro.
Yeah. Well, I
That's
wanna-
that
Yeah.
bugs me out.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
nah, you good. And then when it comes to voting for statehood or remaining as a colony or freaking commonwealth or being independent, last time I think less than 200,000 people voted.
That's
What kind of bullcrap is that? Our people, it's the people. If the people are governing the island, what the hell is going on with the people? The people don't believe in democracy. That must be it. That must be it.
or they don't. The situation
They don't care?
doesn't impact them enough for it to matter to them.
Could it be?
You know what I
Could it
mean?
be
But
a
it
lack,
does.
a
Look at
lack
what's
of
happening.
education as far as you don't know the impact of voting?
Maybe.
Or maybe they
large
feel the
possibility.
vote doesn't matter. I mean, look, if only 600,000 people voted for this guy, right? And now it's found out everything that he was doing, right? And now a third of the population, which realistically considering isn't that much, now a third is calling publicly for him to be outed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's 1 million people. It's still only a third of the population. At least that made it to San Juan, mind
Yeah,
you.
okay.
You know, I'm not saying that there's not more that want to
There,
do
yeah,
that.
there were different protests throughout the island.
Right.
There were protests in Bayamon, Aguada, Isabela. Tomorrow they're gonna have another protest right by my house. They're shutting down part of Highway 2 over here, starting in Isabela to protest. This dude was supposed to renounce
So you
at
only
5
get-
o'clock p.m.
You're only
today.
going to be able to move around
Oh,
on
wow.
Highway
So he's
1?
go- So he's gonna renounce.
Yeah, Highway 1.
Yeah. I thought he said he wanted to continue his term until it was over, and then he would.
This was 2 days. This was 2 days ago,
Yeah.
Winston. 2 days ago, that was that interview with the Shepard Smith on Fox News. I believe it was 2 days ago. I might be wrong, but now today the protests continue, and he's feeling the pressure. So
You know,
this is what's going
I'll
on.
tell you what, that dude better fucking chill because
He's gonna
this-
leave the
this
island.
ain't like a third world. You know what's making it sad? It's like a third world country. You see this shit in freaking, in other parts of the
Argentina,
world.
and you know what I'm saying, like
and fucking in Venezuela and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, this is the shit you see over there. The difference is that we're the U.S. is directly in governs you, so you better act right because if not, Washington's gonna step in and be like, "Yeah, you're getting the fuck out."
Listen,
Yeah, because they could still do something with the reserves and National Guard.
Yeah, get your shit together.
yeah.
Yo, by the way, the other day, about maybe 3 days ago, a whole police station was robbed of its arms.
Wow.
What?
and
Wow,
that's where it
crazy.
starts getting dangerous.
That's terrifying.
That's where it starts getting real
Yo,
dangerous.
everybody in PR, just you guys gotta just. I love y'all, but you gotta just act right. I mean, you gotta, I understand the situation, and this is where I actually would probably call on Washington. This is you're in charge of PR. Step in, make sure this dude's out. Continue the democratic process. Get the people. If they voted for him, they didn't vote for him. It is
still
what it is.
becomes a precarious
way it is.
situation.
I don't like
It's
sometimes.
dangerous,
I don't
man.
like
It
sometimes
is.
who's
It
president.
is.
I didn't like I wasn't a big fan of the last one, but guess what? It is what it is. He's my president, and I got to deal with it. Respect the office, do your 4 years or 8 years, and get the fuck out. Next, and just continue on. That's what it was. I don't know.
On
I guess.
on a on a
Oh,
on a more
John believes in a dictatorship as long as it, he likes
No,
the
if I
guy.
don't fuck with somebody, I don't give a fuck. My president. I ain't like. Listen, I ain't choose you, nigga.
Like a somebody.
I choose my president. Listen, because you won, don't mean you my president. You president of the U.S. Nigga. You ain't.
Exactly.
You're not.
You in the U.S. is your homes. That's why.
Hey.
That's why I couldn't stand when people said
And
Mr.
the
Obama.
the Dallas Cowboys are America's team, but I'm a Giants fan, nigga. I don't give a fuck about what everybody else is doing. Like oh man, don't get me started. Hey guys,
Ray, on a lighter note, like, what did you just do out there, man? I know the last time I feel like I spoke to you, you were telling me something about a school, and I know when I saw the Helping Hands for Puerto Rico post that you be putting up, it was I know I saw you put a roof on. I know we spoke about that last week.
Yeah, so like I said, all of this drama, this scandal, this Rickygate came about while we were out in Vieques, um, with 7 other organizations, fairly small nonprofit organizations, that we came together to do a collaborative effort in rehabilitating 17 homes, providing a medical clinic, giving out free clothes to some of the citizens, checkups, sneakers for the kids that are starting school on August 13th.
August 13th?
Yeah, wow, they're starting school already?
Yeah,
When do they end
That's
school
like
over
that's
there?
like down south.
in May. It's like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
May,
our college semesters over here. They start in August, they end in May.
Okay.
They do
Okay.
the same thing in the Carolinas. They start like August.
Yeah.
When I was in Georgia, Juju started in like August,
Shit.
like mid-August.
That's what's up, man.
So that's what we're doing over there. From July 8th to the 15th. Actually, I got to Vieques on the 7th because that's what I felt was most important for us to start getting set up on the 7th and be prepared for the main body. But we had over 50 volunteers from different parts of the U.S. and Puerto Rico, from California, the Puerto Rican Civic Club of San Jose, California. That was one of the organizations. Puerto Rico Somos Gente, Brigadas de Amor y Enlace. Tent Ministries provided the sneakers by New Balance and some clothes and a nurse practitioner from New York, from Brooklyn. We had Brigadas de Amor is a nonprofit organization here in Puerto Rico. So is Puerto Rico Somos Gente. Let's see. Had carpenters come from local 157 and the Carpenters Union in New York come down over here on their dime, by the way. They paid for their own flight. These volunteers have a heart of gold because they all paid for their own flight. What we were able to do was pay for transportation. Yeah, pay for transportation here on the island and the ferry and food. We had yeah, that's what we had going on. That medical clinic, reconstructing 17 homes and giving food, the medical supplies, and visiting some bedridden citizens over there in Vieques. So we're able to make a significant impact, and we're going to continue to do that. And I think that's what it's about. I mean, regardless of the conflict and strife that's going on, is the continuous will to do good and be that beacon of light in the darkness that we're facing right now.
Word.
Word, for real.
Word.
Respect
Right,
that, man.
Let the people know, man, where they can go get some more info out on the shit that you're doing.
Yeah, man. The nonprofit is called Helping Hands for Puerto Rico. You can check us out on our Facebook, HH4PR, or Instagram, HH4PR. Our website is www.helpinghands4, the letter 4, PuertoRico.org. And if you want to volunteer, you can submit a volunteer application, and there's an opportunity for you to donate there as well.
I want to make some time to go out there. Like, I need to. I get away from myself. Like, legit. I really, really want to. I'm like afraid to.
Why?
Well, because of the whole business aspect of it and whatnot. Like, that means I have to close my shop. But like that almost to me feels like that's part of the sacrifice. Like, sacrificing for others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about that bottom dollar.
Yeah.
Like, the shit that he's doing is, bro, you putting fucking sneakers on little kids' feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that could be the fucking future governor that he puts them sneakers on. You know what I mean? That remembers that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? That
technically
that,
you'd be
that
president because those are
revolutionized.
U.S. citizens.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
Technically, yeah.
I would love for somebody natively born in Puerto Rico to win the presidency, bro. You got my vote ASAP. Just to stick it.
What about me? I mean,
You know what I'm
down with
saying?
that.
Huh? It's gonna be another Obama, I swear to God. And you know what? All y'all niggas gonna be down. You ain't even gonna care about the nigga policies. Your heart just gonna melt. you ain't gonna give a fuck. But these niggas,
I'll
you know,
run.
man, y'all gonna throw your panties on the stage, nigga.
everybody listening, if you get a chance,
Wow.
go check out some of some of these pages that Ray's been throwing out there. It's a great organization. Great organizations.
Great cause. Great organization.
Great causes and everything. Ray, like we say every single week, we appreciate you, bro, and the shit that you
Absolutely, bro.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
You're a
Guys,
superhero.
thanks. I'm just a regular guy, bro.
You doing
what
God's
I feel
work,
like
man.
I
Hey.
do.
All superheroes
doing?
are regular guys until they're superheroes, right? So,
do. So,
John's words of wisdom. Copyright 2019.
Ray, I got a question for you. Nigga, copyright
Yeah.
shit.
And on that bombshell.
I gotta now.
About to pee.
You gotta shh. You gotta answer honestly. Is there ever
Always.
a point where you pee sitting down?
When I'm pooping,
All right, no, separate from that. I mean, there's really like not an option. I've never met a person that can like shit standing up. Besides
No,
a kid.
that's
Besides a
impossible.
kid, and they even bend their knees a little bit.
We can do that in
No.
another episode. Sure, when there's a will, there's a way.
I'm gonna take a second to think about it because I can't recall like legitimately just choosing.
Well,
to
just
sit
something
down
that you
to
do
pee.
like for your leisure. Not that have you ever done it before,
Right.
but have you ever been like, you know what? I don't feel like standing when I just want to squat. I just want to
Listen.
sit down a little bit.
I'll answer this yes, and I'm perfectly okay with it. I don't give a fuck who judge because you know what? It's easier,
How often do you do it though?
huh?
How often do you do that though?
I mean, it really kind of depends on the mood. Like in the morning, like if I wake up in the middle of the night, right?
That's a lot of mornings, bro.
Right.
Yeah, because-
How old are
365
you?
mornings.
Listen. I get up before my wife. Okay, we've got an ensuite in our room. I'm not a fan of closing doors,
Okay.
right? But every man knows, like depending on the situation, right?
Uh-huh.
First of all,
Okay.
in the dark, like, and in the groggy dark at that, like you got the crusties in your eyes, and like your aim's can be a little off. And then if you was drinking or happen to have a lot of water the night before, your stream is hard, like just is coming out.
All right.
I don't want to worry about it. I really don't, and I don't want to make a lot of noise and wake my wife up because I
Have-
gotta hear that.
My question to you is, how have you not mastered your own piss technique?
It's not a question of mastering
Right,
it.
but you sit down all the
no.
It's
But-
not. It's
Yo,
not a
not for
question
nothing.
of
Not for
mastering
nothing
it.
though.
bowl-
There's nights that it
do you
just goes
sit
all over
when
the
you
place.
pee?
Yeah, bro. Listen, no matter what bowl, no matter what situation where you're in, whether it's a bottle while you're sitting in the car and you got to do the move to put your little wee wee in
Yeah,
the bottle.
I never done that.
Oh man, that's why you don't. That's why you don't like. That's why you sit down when you pee because you don't. You're not crafty enough. Listen,
Yeah, no, I just pull over and go to the fucking bathroom. Like,
when
what
you're
the hell?
a kid, well, you did. I did that when I was a kid, not as an adult. As an adult,
I
I'm
don't
an
know.
adult. I mean, I'm an adult.
You ain't mastering shit as a kid.
Guess what? I mastered the pee in the bottle as a kid because my parents made me. I'm not pulling over. We used to drive to Florida a
Yeah,
lot.
I
and-
mastered that pee in the bottle too.
Yeah, that's that's a technique.
Got to.
So my question to you
Got
is,
to.
why haven't you mastered your style of pissing yet?
To be comfortable to do this.
My-
shit.
Yeah, right. That it
Well,
got
no,
you.
all right.
That it has you
But see,
squatting.
Y'all are
Yo, because he mastered the sitting and
It's
peeing.
not that I can't. It's that I'm choosing not. Like, why work? Why work?
Why is that
I,
work?
I don't even know.
Hey.
I can't even consider
Hey,
that.
Wait, we ain't
listen-
get
listen to this,
Jones'
though.
answer.
You're gonna get my answer, but listen to this though, right? I think I may be 100% correct on this, but I think there was a study. I think there was a study
You about to
that
give
was
yourself
done.
away. You about to give yourself away, bro.
I don't care. I don't care. I think there was a study that was done that actually showed that it was more healthier for the man to pee while sitting down
Okay.
than it is standing
All
up.
right.
I don't give a fuck
And
about
on
that.
that-
Like, I'm
that's-
just
listen,
lazy.
That's
listen,
probably some new age.
You're
Like it's
probably
okay to
right,
be like that.
And
type of
on
shit.
that one,
Yeah.
and on that one, I will say that yes, I do sit down when I pee sometimes. And it ain't just on Frank's level where it's just the morning, or overnight. There be times where I'll be just home in the middle of the day, and I just be like, "Yo, fuck it, I'm gonna sit down and pee," because I just plan on like just sitting there
Damn, my
Yeah.
and
it's
collecting
just-
my thoughts.
damn, my
and then
calves
just,
is aching. Let me just go. Let me go.
It's just easier, bro.
It's-
It's
You're
I
not
like
worried.
to just sit there.
You're
Like,
not
just
worried
chill.
about your little thing hitting the water while you peeing and shit. Like that's not. It's not an issue for you. Like if you could avoid that, no, that's not okay. Moving on.
John's dick goes for a swim. I guess.
No,
I don't know. Like,
I'm
what the
just
fuck?
saying it happens sometime, and if I can avoid that, I don't know. I'm a dude. I was taught to piss like you can piss. You're a boy. you are literally God would like gave you the ultimate gift of being a guy.
He gave me options. I
no,
utilized all my options.
There's only one choice. You could pee anywhere. Imagine just being able to stand up. And you think that's work? It's more work to
When I'm half asleep, yes, it's
Bro,
work. Nah,
It's more work. It's more work to pull your little thing down in front zipper, or if you have some sweatpants on your little front part, pull it down and pee, than it is to pull the seat down, pull your pants down, pull your panties down because you're fucking squatting, you little bitch ass, and then squat and sit there and pee. Come on, bro.
Nigga, first of all,
that's not easier.
It all goes down in one shot. First of all, second of all, the work comes in the aim. Like I need to put too much focus into the aim because I'm not fucking
What, bro?
They ain't no man.
What?
They ain't no mandingo here, but you know what? Like, yeah, I gotta control my shit.
We all
Otherwise,
gotta
it's
control
gonna-
your shit.
Not nigga.
Micro
all right.
penis people got the worst. got
Well,
the
you
worst
don't
shit. They
hold
pee on
it,
their
bro.
nuts.
You just freaking let it go and freaking like a fire hose.
That's what'll
I
happen.
mean,
yeah,
sometimes.
bro. It's just that's what I'm saying, and I don't want to then hear my wife yell at me because it's all over the place. Or
She
like,
should yell at you because you should clean that shit up when you fucking do it. Nigga.
again, here's the work.
Just hold
Oh,
it.
man.
You're proving my point.
Wow.
Listen, I don't-
Especially, I'll give you another one. Fucking, you wake up with morning wood. That shit is difficult. You all contort
Yo,
and
I'd rather
shit.
stand up and do it than have my penis touch the toilet bowl.
That is
Number one,
It's
Number
easy
one,
just
it
to pull
depends-
it. You'll just sit down.
That's what I'm saying. Is
it
that, you know,
depends.
just-
It all
it's
depends on
easier
which
just to
way
sit
your
down.
penis is shaped about that. So I don't, I mean,
I
it does
can't- Yo,
though.
damn, we
You're not
going-
going-
wrong. I just
we
wasn't.
going,
I
right?
wasn't ready
I'm
for
talking-
that.
We went from peeing, talking about peeing,
What is this?
sitting
Yeah,
down,
because we're talking
to
about
now-
why the hell
to
would
now
you?
different penis sizes.
No,
and
not size. I
lengths
said
and-
shape.
and shapes
I
and
said
shit.
shape and curve. My point here, we're gonna talk about
Yeah,
it. You
so
know
it's
why?
even worse if
You
you
know
like
why?
if you're a
Because-
banana. You got
Where we
fucking pee in your
going? Where we
mouth.
going with
We're
this?
gonna talk about it because
Where
it's
we
the
going
men's
with
support
this?
group. So my point is, listen, some niggas don't
Hashtag
have
Alpha
problems
5
peeing in the
support
morning.
group.
My aim is not bad. I don't. They don't be errant pee in my house unless it's my kids in their bathroom. That's the only errant pee you gonna find. She sit and we have our own bathroom in my bedroom. There is no errant piss. You know what I'm saying? The worst
kudos
you get,
to you, nigga.
the wor-
There's none
the
in
worst-
mine either because
the
I
wor-
do what I got to do
the
to
worst
avoid
you
it.
get is like if I pee and then it like might go in the toilet and then come back out. But that's
I hate
not
that shit.
right. But that's not my fault. I feel like
Oh.
that's Isaac Newton's fault.
Sidebar, that is so infuriating, especially when you got like a solid bullseye going on,
Oh man,
and then you just get, and it's usually like towards the end, it's just
fucking up your perfect game. You
No,
got,
that's why you gotta aim for the sides.
you got. Oh man,
no, you know what?
nah.
Because
sides gonna get-
when it's quiet, you're in
Oh,
stealth. You're in
my
stealth
God,
mode,
this
and on top of that,
conversation.
Listen,
you don't have the
stealth mode, yeah,
splashes.
but stealth mode causes splashes. If you don't aim for the hole, you're going to
I'm-
get more splash.
I'm not gonna put
No.
I'm
Oh,
not gonna
man.
put Fabian on blast for nothing, but he cannot participate in this conversation.
I agree.
What do
with
you mean, Wise? What do you mean?
That-
I can't
yeah, I'm not. Don't do it. I ain't putting you on blast.
Wow.
Now you got it. You got it. You got
I
it.
think he's trying
Just-
to say that you should be peeing sitting down. I think
Yeah,
that's-
you know what? That is a great way to put it. If we're gonna talk about some aim, baby need to go to the gun range or something. I don't know.
He needs
Yeah,
marksmanship
yeah.
training.
Yeah.
Try to call
But
me
the
out.
point is, I
I
don't know.
try not to. You
No,
put it.
no, I just no. I'm just saying.
You
Listen.
listen, nigga. Like,
Aim for the bushes.
I think if you're a dude,
yeah, you just need to go outside always.
I think that's probably the best place for you to go. Like a deer.
Always, yep. Just,
I think if you're a dude and you choose to pee sitting down without extenuating circumstances, I'm just gonna look at you a little funny. That's all. I ain't gonna say.
look
I ain't
away
gonna-
because I don't
ain't
give a
gonna-
fuck.
I'm not gonna
And
cast
to those who do like who will pee sitting down, do you?
The only
Oh,
time where I've had to
them.
pee sitting down is because I thought I had to defecate and it didn't work out too well.
Right.
And I just ended up peeing.
You goddamn right. You know how mad I be. You go poop,
And then
and then you
spit it,
think,
and you're
yeah,
like, oh.
your stomach. You be like, yeah, I got me a good one. You just go sit down and it's just
No, no.
gas, and you just peed, and now you feel like, oh man, I probably should go get my nails painted.
No,
Yeah.
I never
Probably.
I never
Yeah,
feel
like,
like that.
Damn, shit just escalated
Nope.
quick. I feel like an immediate
Never.
girl. I
Nope.
feel like damn, it was a false
I think I
alarm.
should shave my legs right now.
Like,
I-
what just happened?
I simply walk away like that was easy.
Oh man.
Like it's really that simple.
Oh,
I don't got to do anything afterwards. That's it. Just up and out. That's it.
My son, I was telling Fabe this. My son, I taught him how to potty train him. So first, kids, you got to potty train them on sitting down, whether boy or girl. You got to sit them first.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do that. I skipped.
He stood up first. Leo stood up
from the beginning.
Not Jonathan. Jonathan, he took a while because boys usually take a while, right?
They gotta learn control. That's what I'm saying.
Well, no, it's just that for some reason he didn't like sitting on the toilet, whatever. He just didn't like doing that. Eventually, he got tall enough that he could reach urinals like out in public, like the super low ones for kids. So now he like I'll be like, yo, you want to go sit on the toilet? He'll get mad at me. Like, no, I want to go to that one, and he points to the urinal and just like whips it out.
Oh no, that's
Right?
different. I don't
No.
like. I don't go to public.
He will
toilets.
piss on himself before he sits and pees. That's what I'm. And that, I didn't teach him that. I didn't say, hey, no, you're a boy. You pee stand. I didn't say that shit to him at all. His man radar
You
was
probably
like,
gave
yo,
off-
I
nah.
don't like sitting.
You probably
down.
gave off an aura.
I swear about. He don't watch me pee.
I don't.
I taught him
nope.
how to pee by sitting down. I taught him how to pee by sitting down. So I taught him how to pee standing up one time.
Nigga, the whole time he was sitting, you probably making some kind of funny face.
No,
Like, hurry up,
man.
nigga. Come on,
no,
get up.
no.
I
What
wanna
it
look
was,
sideways
what
at-
it was.
You said you look
You're-
sideways.
That's all right. Only at grown men.
Yeah, you didn't.
Not
Oh, now
not
it
my,
changes.
Not my 3-year-old.
Now it changes.
Yeah, nigga. Yes, you're 30 years older than him. You have no excuse. So what?
My comfort is my excuse.
Still bad. So what really spurned it on was, you know how men's bathrooms are. Men's bathrooms are disgusting. So there was like it's always the handicap stall that has all the errant piss in it. Y'all know. Y'all been to men's bathroom before.
Yeah, that's the one that everyone wants to use because that's always
But it's
the one that has the most room.
But it's people like, I don't know, people like Fabian, I guess, like they just pee everywhere. Like how the fuck did you get piss on the ceiling? How the fuck did you how you pee on the wall? Like it'd be piss everywhere. So I didn't want him to pee. I didn't want him to sit down peeing there. So hey nigga, we gotta go to a urinal. So I held him up. It wasn't one low enough. I held him up. He pulled his little wee out, peed, and then he washed his hands. So I'm like, hey, and ever since then, he'll get mad at you. So my point is, ladies, stop, man.
I hate this.
And I'm
nigga.
looking at Frank and Jonah. Stop.
Hey, listen.
Just stand
No,
for the rest
fellas.
of meninism.
Fellas,
Nope.
let us know.
Gotta give me options.
Let us know on the at Alpha 5 Facebook or Instagram or Twitter at Alpha 5 Podcast. Let us know whether or not peeing sitting down is acceptable
For
I'm
dudes.
not gonna lie.
for dudes.
I don't give a fuck about your answers because I'm gonna still do it. But yeah,
I mean, I ain't telling you not to do it. I just try
Yo,
to prove
and
the point.
I although I don't sit down and pee, I support you, Frank. You go ahead.
You know
and
what?
sit down.
See,
Aw.
that's my nigga
Boo
right
this
there.
man.
That's my nigga right there. you
Yeah,
see?
yeah. Boo this man.
Ray.
Boo this man. Oh, Jesus.
Side note: wash your hands. Y'all nasty. I seen too many fucking people leave the bathroom, public bathrooms, that don't wash their hands. Even if you ain't in public, wash your hands. Y'all nasty.
Word.
Just saying. Gotta put it
A
out.
lot of dudes don't wash their hands. A lot of people don't wash their
Shit,
hands.
I know.
I will venture to say that 99% of the human population does not wash their
It's
hands.
disgusting. Like,
Yeah.
not-
I wouldn't say 99%. I'd probably say like
and rinse.
like
just,
98%.
just rinsing
Like,
don't
like,
count.
Alright, so give him
Like,
give him
nah.
2%.
Nah, honestly, it's probably closer to like 80 something. I would say like 82.
Teach your kids right. Teach yourself right. Fuck.
And teach your kids how to wipe their ass properly too if you got them.
Yo, baby wipes.
Yeah, but those is not
Wait a minute.
they're not always flushable.
Wait a
And
minute.
how about that baby wipes?
Wait a minute.
No, they have flushable ones. Flushable ones.
Let me
now.
tell you the one
I had them at my wedding, bro.
Bro, their
real?
lies.
Yeah,
There's
man
no-
wipes.
Listen.
What were they called? Damn.
There are no
forgot.
such thing. I have 4 of these niggas. Trust me. There's no such thing as a flushable wipe. They're labeled as flushable. You should not flush them. They will still
He's-
get.
He's right.
They will still get stuck. So
Yeah.
please don't flush flushable.
Or it'll
wipes.
fuck
They,
up your
they need
sex-
to they need to
or it'll fuck up
they need to
your,
put an extra little subtitles or whatever on those
No, but then they wouldn't
flushable,
sell
but will
them.
clog your
They
toilet.
would- I just buy a regular wipe that you can't flush. Why would I buy something? You know, I'm buying it because it's just false advertisement. It's not really false advertisement because they are technically you can flush them because they break down easier.
They're called dude wipes, by the way.
There's
The-
mad
the
versions
ones
of them.
that are quote unquote made for men. I had them at the wedding. Everyone used them.
What, do they
That's why you
smell
probably
differently?
didn't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. See,
Your
I don't
hands
know
without
why.
it.
I feel like a man using wipes is more feminine than a
No,
dude sitting
I use
down.
I absolutely-
What,
if I have
bro?
the
Get
opportunity
outta
to use
here.
a wipe to wipe my ass. If it's there, I'm wiping my ass, bro.
You got
I
to.
mean, I
get
would
it.
hope you
I'm
wipe
not-
your
With
ass.
not a baby wipe, but with a wipe.
I'm
know,
not
I
I'm
know, I know.
not necessarily disagreeing with you, but the same way that a man sitting, right,
It's a
in
whole
your
diff-
head is feminine to me. A dude wiping
Get outta
his
here,
ass
dude.
All right.
Get out of
with
here.
wipes is
Bruh.
feminine.
How? Listen,
How-
having
whoa,
a
get
clean
outta here.
ass
This logic.
is not ladylike. It's,
Yeah, I don't know if I can agree with
I'm-
with you on that. I agree with.
I
the
don't
shit
need.
about
I'm just telling you
pee.
how. I'm not
I
saying
just
I don't
know.
agree with it. That
Breaks out on Rick-
understand what's coming out my mouth.
He's out here on Revis Island.
I'm just. I don't need nobody to be there with me either. I don't disagree with the concept and doing it. I've done it myself.
You just think it's more ladylike.
Yes, because I know most women in my life use wipes every time they go to the bathroom,
Okay.
right? So it registers in my head when a dude is using wipes as feminine.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? So
Well,
I'm not judging
so-
for it.
so
I'm not.
fellas-
My
I'm not
question-
pulling a
All
John.
I
right,
feel-
I'm just-
Oh no.
I'm
Hold on,
just-
So my question
Hey,
is, to you
goddamn,
then,
you should pull me.
So your logic is that because most of the women in your life, almost all of them, use wipes, right? So you equate that to being
Yeah, I know where you're
feminine,
going. Go
right?
ahead. I know where you're
So-
going. Come on, get it out.
almost every woman sits down peeing, but you don't equate that to being feminine.
Nope.
That's
In fucking sane, America. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. What the fuck is going on here?
Listen, that's how my brain functions.
You
I
remember
don't know-
you remember a couple of episodes I said that humans are like a walking contradiction and that's all we do?
You kind of say that like every episode and then back it up.
And then there we go. That's just one's episode. That's this episode's fucking proof that we are walking
You
contradiction.
must feel good, huh, Winston?
God damn it! I need to write a book on just the random shit that comes to my head. But then,
This is the kind of shit that we learn.
yeah, well,
It's the
listen,
kind of shit that we learn.
you know, I wonder what it sounds like when the pee hits the porcelain when you're sitting down. Does it sound like?
No, that's the
It
point.
sounds
It
feminine.
doesn't.
Wait. Sounds feminine. Then wait, I bet you. I swear to God, I bet you the Sailor Moon theme song comes on when he fucking pees, nigga. Sailor Moon.
You know what?
You gonna hear them?
I damn
sure-
I know for a fact you know that damn fucking theme song, bro. So
Sailor
you trying to
Moon
get on me when you're the one that knows it and about to
Sailor
sing
Moon
it.
was my shit. I did not hear the sounds of Sailor Moon while I pissed and squatted in my bathroom. So no, not the
I don't.
Sailor
I don't.
Moon was
Excuse
actually
me.
pretty
Sailor
dope, yo.
Moon,
Excuse me,
Tierra
sir. I don't
Magic.
squat. I sit. Moving on
Yes.
to the next subject at hand.
Weird.
We actually have a little bit of order for y'all. We were talking off air like when we each kind of moved out and started, doing our own thing and talking about the people kind of in our lives who still are home. Like, do y'all think that there's a set time frame for people to that they should leave the nest, for lack of a better way of saying it? That, like that you got to move out in today's age, at least today's day and age.
Today's age is kind of fucked up too. Today's age is kind of fucked up too because I know a lot of freaking married fucking couples that are going back with the kids to the parents' house because you just can't afford it. So I mean, I guess it depends. I mean, if you're looking at it economically and what people can afford, that's a little bit different. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a time. Whenever you're ready. Yeah, I guess I fucking burped into
You
the
can
mic.
say fucking excuse me. The audience just had to hear that in their heads.
My bad.
Too bad.
Anyway, don't cut me. Nigga, I had a point. Anyway, I don't think there's necessarily like a time limit when you're right, but I think if you're married, try to kind of distance yourself, even if you're living in a house. Economy is, that's just being a millennial. It's a different age where we live in, where a lot of the people that we know still live with their parents because they have no other choice, and it's not even like looked at as weird because they have no choice. I get it, you know what I'm saying, but I just think that it's hard to keep your distance, especially if you're like married and you're living with your parents still. You know what I mean? And you're trying to not mingle and intertwine with your lives and stuff like that. So I don't know if there's an age to leave the nest. Everybody does because the first time how old was I when I went with you? I think I was like 19, 20 years old when I first left the house, and I went back and I went, you know what I mean, bounce around here. So it happens at different ages, I guess, with different people.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. There's no real like set time, set age, set circumstance, and whatever. Everyone going through different shit, different bills, especially in today's world when fucking got college bills up the ass.
Free college.
Word.
We need free college.
You think so?
Yes. Listen, I got my motherfucking enrollment papers over there. I'm about to go free college up in this motherfucking OC. And I don't want to pay anything, so I'm not going to pay anything. Yes, it helps me a lot to not have to pay for that. So I'm going to get a degree, and I'm going to use that degree to make more money. Thanks, New York. Like, where's the flaw?
The stipulation is to stay in New York for a certain amount of years after you get your degree.
I think they're
what was
overpriced.
that?
I think they're overpriced anyway.
The stipulation with that is to stay a certain amount of years in New York
I
after
think it's 2 years.
after
It's
you
2
get your
years
degree.
or something like after you get your. It's either 2 or 4 years. It's either 2 or 4 years. It's the amount of time that it took you to get your degree is however many.
Which doesn't really matter for you since you probably plan on staying in New York anyway.
Exactly. So again, that makes sense for New York State because I'm not going to give somebody a free education and you're going to take that education and not try to enhance the state. You're going to take that education.
The thing
to
is
another
also
state.
about New York State when it comes to that. Everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people want to come and live in New York. So it's just like, boom, another reason to come to New York. You get that education and you got to, dedicate X amount of years afterwards.
Like, why isn't everybody doing that? Like, it's been free for about 3 years now.
Did it already start being implemented? Or
Yes,
I thought you had to wait. It was a certain amount of time.
It's been a few years. And literally, I'm the only person that I know that's ever tried to do it. Since I don't know that many, people trying to go back to college.
I wanted to go back to school.
Most of y'all did the shit already.
Fucking time, yeah, for sure.
Nah, school's dope.
I wanted to go back for
I'm good.
for coding and web design.
Nice, dude. I support.
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you when you can go.
Oh man,
Don't tell me YouTube.
Nope. Nah, I got a website you can go to.
I want a teacher, man.
they'll
I want to
te- and
do
they'll-
like,
Academy?
And no, it's just it'll be just like school, but you're learning it at your own pace.
Website is
What?
not ever. The actual physical interaction is
having a professor and
100%.
I've taken it. That's what I'm telling you. Like,
I understand that, but you also didn't go to college.
no, I took it in college. I didn't graduate college, but I took it in college. I took coding and web design.
But how did you take an online course in college? Like, I mean, like physically at the school.
Oh no, I've not physically taken like an online class in college, but in college I took coding and web design. I just never graduated.
But what's the? I'm lost.
I'm telling
anyway,
you.
welcome to the
Listen,
welcome
hold
to
on.
the Alpha 5 podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm telling
We're
you,
just a little heavy.
if you want to go to college for coding and web design, you don't have to go to college for coding and web design. I could give you this website, and you can learn from there. You don't have to go to college for coding and web design. And then you ask why, and I was just like, I'm telling you because I took it in college, and you don't have to.
So yeah, I don't know if there's a time that you should move out. I mean, but I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Wait, no, I'm not, no, because I'm about to go to school for the same shit. So it's fucking awesome. It just can't do that right now.
I think John's trying to say conversation for off pod.
Oh, all right.
I think that's where that was going.
I just had a flash real quick that we wasn't recording no more. Just like I found myself just like
he was getting enveloped.
Yeah, can't do that. Anyway, hey guys, we're back.
Okay.
We could probably
So-
fucking punch that shit in.
Back to this whole separating thing that you brought up. You brought up an interesting point
Uh-huh.
about how once you get involved and married, especially, that there's a time that you're supposed to that you should be separating yourself, right, from
Home.
home, right? I agree with that, and it's really difficult for some people. Like
I know.
super difficult for some people.
I know. It's hard. It's hard being on the opposite end of it because me growing up, I'm the youngest of 6, so I had siblings. I watched them get married, have kids, and watch my family kind of slowly separate and dissipate over the years. I was the last one to get married and have kids. For my wife, she's the oldest of all her brothers and sisters. And there's 7 of them. So she's the first to get married. She's the first to get kids. And so she and the rest of her siblings and stuff like that, they're not used to like the breakaway, which happens to everybody once your family hits a certain age.
Mhm.
Not that you don't fuck with your family no more, it's just that you got your own. So for us, it was kind of like a transition period where not that she didn't have to like love her family or nothing like that, but you also have your own family that you're trying to build. So she had to kind of like recalculate in the brain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it could be hard. I think Ray's back. It can be hard for some people to break away from the idea of, well, this is my mom, my dad, my brothers and sisters. They're always my family, and we're always going to be in each other's lives. To, well, I have my own spouse, my own kids, my own adventures we're supposed to go on because my kids have memories, just like I had memories of my parents when I had a, you know what I'm saying? So when I was a kid, my life wasn't revolved around my grandparents and my aunts and uncles. It was my parents and my brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So logically, there's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? Because your parents decided to separate from their brothers and sisters and do their own family thing. We did things together a lot, but it wasn't just that. You know what I'm saying? I think some people can't handle that separation where no, you can't come stay at my house all the time. No, you can't just walk in and like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so it's hard.
Even if with things like, you know, what am I trying to say? Like your everyday tasks, like your habits, you know, your routine. When you move in with somebody, right? Like, there's a lot of shit that changes in your personal routine, and shit that has to change with theirs. Like,
Yep. Word.
I'll use, I'll use me as an example. Like most Saturdays when I would get out of work, like I'd go home and I'd go right to take a nap because I knew I was going out Saturday night. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
When I moved in with my wife,
Yeah.
when I moved in with my wife, like I couldn't. I had shit I had to do when I got home. Fuck.
Yep.
But fuck.
Well,
And
there is no more
Save it
nightlife.
for
my
Sunday.
my wife
Save
went.
for Sunday.
That's what I
Nah, fuck, nigga. What? I got everything done, so I didn't have to do nothing on Sunday. And that was like I didn't. My time wasn't all my time anymore, right? And that's a hard thing to adjust to at first, because like fuck, you got to cater to somebody. You can't just go turn on the fucking Xbox and tune the fuck out because somebody gonna come wanting attention, and it ain't the cat. And it ain't the dog, and you can't just pat its head and tell it to go away. Like fuck.
You could.
I mean,
it
you
just might not
can.
work out too well.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
gets worse with kids, man.
Yeah, but my wife went through a similar. Like she used to come home from work, spend time with her nephew. Maybe she would take a nap or take a nap with this nigga, and then dinner was made already, right? And then she could go to sleep. Or do whatever else you wanted to do, watch some TV, whatever the case may be. When we moved in together, now, nigga, you need to make dinner because I'm not even home, and we need to eat.
Yeah.
No, what you mean you took a nap? Nah. Why the fuck do I have nothing to eat?
Yep.
Then we end up cooking. You know what I mean? And that's not on some chauvinistic shit. She was home first. If I was home, then I gotta cook. You know, I mean, right?
Heard it.
So like that was hard. Like, her car insurance was under her mom. And mind you, we're in our mid-20s. No, Matt, how old?
Wait,
Fuck.
all right. So let me ask.
We was like 20, 26,
Let
27?
me let me ask the question then. Why is it a bad thing, or why is it that the older generation sets that limit for us? Like, why is there that, like, I don't want to say it's a stigma, but why is there a deadline to when you're supposed to have your shit together? Like, for example, you said you're saying that you guys are in your mid-20s and she's under her mom's insurance. Like, why is there an issue that she was on her mom's insurance
There's
at her
no need
20s?
It
for
was
it.
more feasible back then. It was a lot easier. I mean, the world was different. The economy was
Because that's
different.
you.
A lot of
You
things-
need to take
a lot of factors
responsibility for your
involved.
own shit.
But who's to say that she's not?
Just
Who's to say she's not? Who's to say that she's
Because
not?
the car insurance is not in your name, and that's an adult
doesn't-
thing to do.
But that doesn't
Yes.
matter though. What if she's paying for it?
So
Doesn't
why?
matter. So then why can't it be in your name?
Because it's more money. You're trying to save some money.
I get it, but
Right, but then who has the control then?
At some point,
What control?
In order for the insurance to be under her name,
Right.
she has to own the car.
Right.
If it's under her mother's name, her mother owns the car.
The insurance.
The
she can
car.
No, but she can own the car and
still
be on,
have-
and
and
have
still have
insurance under her
somebody else
mom.
insure it.
Not when it's originally purchased under her mother's name.
Yo, but what does it matter?
Well,
even
then it
if
was
it's
her mother's
purchased
car in
under
the
her
first
mother's
place.
name?
But yeah,
Can't-
but that's what I'm
can't-
saying, though.
Can't,
What is it-
can't she still be paying for it, and she's still the owner? It's
that's-
just
that's-
a matter.
No,
of
all you're
that's
doing is
exactly what
paying
I'm
for
saying.
it.
But listen, there's a lot of factors in that. Nobody's
But you're
looking at.
taking responsibility for it though.
No,
Like,
no,
if
check
the
this
car
out.
breaks down, you got to pay for it. If you need gas, she has to pay for it.
Yeah, or here's the thing. That even
There's something about
that even
like,
happened. That even happened with my sister until recently. Sorry for her, but it's true. And a lot of other probably families are dealing with that. They charge up the ass to have a 22-year-old kid, even though they can afford it, their own insurance and shit. So now you're paying, instead of like $350 fucking a month, you go into your mom's insurance, pay $150, and guess what, Ma? I'll just pay you the insurance instead of shelling
Yeah.
out an extra $200 just to say, oh, I have insurance.
And that's what I mean. Like, why is it that there is that thought? Like, you growing up as a kid, you have to have your shit together
I get
by
what
the
you're
age of 25.
It's not
let's
that
just
you have
say.
to have your shit together, but you need to be getting your shit together.
you have to have, because all right, you
What
asked
does it
them, all
mean
right,
to
let's take
have your shit
insurance.
together?
Once you get to a certain point, like the insurance company see your insurance history, that can also determine whether you get a higher or lower rate.
Yep.
When
I
was
get, I get
It's like
that.
right,
credit.
so those are
Yeah.
reasons.
So that's a
At some
reason to
point-
get your
at
own
some
insurance.
Point, you have to start. You gotta, if you don't
Like-
have,
like,
if
for
you
instance-
don't have good credit, you have to build it to be good credit. If you
And
have
I'm
bad
not-
credit, you
but
gotta
I'm
make
not-
For
that.
instance,
Yeah.
we're moving out together. No, I don't want to have to worry about paying your mom
So
to
let's
pay
say,
to pay the insurance. No,
let's
nigga,
say-
get your own insurance, build your own insurance history,
Right.
so
and let's
say
get
I'm-
this shit together. That's
no,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
You
but
got-
My mom's paying something on her credit. It's my bill. It's in her
So
credit.
what's-
It's her credit card. My bill, her credit card. I'm giving her the money for her credit card bill because she's paying something for me. Now, if it's on time all the time, her credit is going to eventually build off of those positive payments. Why am I not going to do that for me?
No,
That's
listen.
why. No, but that's why.
No.
That's why you want things in your name, even if it might cost you some.
All
money.
right. So
Even if
so
you have a higher percentage on your credit card
right.
in your name as opposed to your mom's name, I'll take that higher percentage. I'm still gonna pay my credit card anyway, and it's
So what-
benefiting me.
So what? So does the person not have their shit together? If say you
Not
and
all the
your-
way.
You hold on a second. Not say you and your wife married,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
No, I'm sorry, not married. You guys are just in a real serious relationship. I'm not saying 2 years, 3 years. Like I'm talking about like you guys are deep in a relationship.
Mhm.
Just no thought of marriage yet.
Okay.
Or
So it's me and my wife last year. Gotcha.
right. Say she was on your insurance because it was just cheaper to get 2 cars under the same insurance. I mean, is she still bad because she technically falls under the same category as of
different.
being how?
Because
Well,
because
number one, it was
because
already-
her and I are establishing something, not
Right.
her and her parents.
Right. The
It's
point
completely
is
different.
the key is to
But
break.
she's still relying on somebody else
No,
to
but
get
yeah,
the
but
cheaper
that-
insurance.
The point is if I'm building this future relationship with my wife, the point is to try to separate yourself from that. So even if
I
you
get
depend,
it.
you have
Listen,
to depend on somebody.
no.
You depend on me, not your mom.
I get it.
Like-
I get that. My thought process or my philosophy with this theory is
Uh-huh.
why is it such a bad thing if he or she has a cheaper insurance with their mom versus
Well, clearly
having a cheaper insurance with you?
it's a stigma. To answer your question, it's frowned. I get what you're saying,
But
it's frowned upon to not, quote unquote, not have your shit together by like 25, 26 years old.
And that's
Listen,
where my problem lies. Like,
listen,
that's where my
my-
question comes from.
my thing with this whole thing is that I see exactly what PJ's saying.
Right.
It does make sense, but I also see exactly what you're saying and what I'm saying. There's two things to this. You got to start from somewhere, right? To actually build that, in order to actually bring that premium down, to actually get a credit card and bring your credit score up. You have to start from somewhere. I had that problem in the beginning too. Eventually, I did able to secure a card and do all that shit. Finally, got my own insurance. Here's the kicker:
Okay.
you need to be financially stable to even do that. Say if you're a college kid or you're just fresh out, you only make an X amount of dollars. To pay that premium to start on your own might be a little fucking tough when you got to try to pay rent for your apartment. You got to pay
Right, but
Right.
groceries and all that.
but
So-
yeah,
so
but
I
that's
can't-
the
so
world
I'm
though.
paying my
That's my
parents.
issue though. That
I'm paying, gotta pay my parents until I can be in a position to actually afford that. If the numbers add up, yeah, I'll take the hit and pay a little bit more on my insurance to establish my own fucking history on
Yeah,
it.
And
Right.
that's
You
My-
got,
my-
but
my-
you got to build to that, and you can't just be like, all right, now I'm independent. I'm just gonna fucking completely.
No, but
I'm
that-
gonna
No,
eat
you have to
ramen
do
noodles
it. You
all
have
day
to do it
just to have my fucking-
wisely. At some point, we was all on our parents' insurance.
absolutely.
Well, no, I'm lying. My parents never had me on their insurance. They
I-
was like, "Fuck you, you pay," and I paid a lot.
Well, no,
Good
you
call,
were
Gloria.
on their insurance. You just didn't know it because you
Okay.
lived in the household.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
okay.
once you report to the DMV, you live in the
Okay,
household.
yep,
Their rates go up.
Yep, he's right. So I was, but I mean,
Again, that's the other reason to go on your own insurance. By the way, because when you're on your parents' insurance, you're covered on all of the cars, right?
Yep.
Even though they'll put you as a primary on one of those cars,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So therefore, yeah, what you're paying is less, but what your parents are overall paying
it's more.
can be more because now they're covering you on all of their vehicles.
even
right?
if you're only
Right.
driving
So
one of them.
therefore, your parents are paying for you.
Look at this nigga dropping fucking
I
jewels.
don't know if that's necessarily true.
Not unless they're paying.
That's
not
absolutely
unless
true.
they're paying for it.
Why would it be true?
That's my-
I
Again,
was always paying for my when I was
listen,
on my parents'
You
insurance.
were
I paid for my insurance.
you were paying for
They're
your
paying,
portion.
you're paying your portion for
Yeah.
your car. So whatever your car insurance comes in for your car, you're gonna pay that bill. The problem is when your parents get their premium and they account for all of the cars under the insurance and they see that there's 3 drivers instead of 2, they're also adding more insurance to those cars that you're not driving. So you pay
that you're
for
not
your-
the primary
you
driver
can't-
of.
You pay your insurance for your car, but my insurance overall, all my cars go up because you have to be insured on the cars, even though.
Well,
if you're
listen,
not
I
driving.
don't know how your guys' insurance work, but as far as I know, every time I either got a new car or from the time that I've ever been on my parents' insurance, I'm not anymore, but ever since I've been on, when I was on my parents' insurance, it went down. It never went up unless there was. I mean, I've never gotten into a car accident under my parents'
You
insurance.
saw the premiums or your bill?
Yeah, because I paid for them.
Oh.
You
Because I
paid for your
looked-
parents, you say?
I looked at the bill. I looked at our bills.
Mhm.
Right, because I had the login for the car insurance. I looked at the bill.
How old were you?
Pre me. This was ever since I was like 18.
Oh.
Right, pre me getting added to it, and then afterwards, and it went down. It was less than what I
Well,
was.
you
paying
lucked the
for.
fuck out because that usually doesn't happen. When I got my license, my parents' insurance went up. It wasn't a lot, but
Now I
Well-
can't. So now I can't speak for between the ages of
Wait, but that
16 and 18 because I got my license at 16.
I
but
got
that-
mine at
that-
17.
But that's also what you're saying is impossible, though.
Why?
it's not impossible because again, sometimes when you add more vehicles to a policy, that'll lower
It lowers
that'll
it
lower the
down.
premium.
Yeah, lower
Right,
Right,
There's
you're
been
talking about like
times
a multi-car discount kind of thing, but
Well,
but-
yeah, that's
all right. My only question to you would be: did any of the coverages change? Like, there's a lot more that goes into that to try to keep it within the same ballpark.
Well, I mean, we never had full coverage.
I mean,
If that makes a difference, I mean,
it's- more-
the only time
anytime I've ever heard of adding a car and or a driver to a policy, sends the rates up.
nah, for me it went down. The only time it went up was when I bought or financed my first car. That was the only time it went up. And
You're-
and
you're-
yet and still,
You're the anomaly then.
listen, and yet and still, I still paid the bigger portion of it because my insurance for my car by itself was $500, even though I was under my father's name. The insurance
goes down when you add cars. The insurance goes
To a
up when you
point.
add people. Well, yeah, about 3 cars. That's when it starts going down. But even the
Two.
second
Yeah.
second
Cool.
car,
Yeah.
you'll see a reflection in the second car, but you'll see the real like went down pretty soon. But when you add people to your policy, it goes up. When you
Yeah.
add cars, it
But
usually goes
the
up.
other thing is, if you have like depending on
Depending on the
we
car it
got
is.
like so far into this, depending on your agent, if they're smart, they manipulate who's the primary on what car to bring the rate down.
Well, there's
also.
mad ways to manipulate.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we don't. We do not commit insurance fraud.
It's not insurance fraud. That's a primary driver.
No, you
But-
ain't. Listen, you ain't never do that. How far is your place to work?
But
And you put a mile. Nigga. You never do that.
You putting yourself on blast? No, I didn't.
nope,
I did
never
that a
did
long
that.
time ago. I was 18.
But anyways, coming
know.
back to what we're saying, I think it actually, my take on it, it should be a gradual progression, especially in this day and age and the way things are going, the economy, stuff like that. Because I know it would. That's what it was like for me when I was. I think even when I was 18, insurance under my parents, my health insurance under my parents, no credit, whatever it is. So what happened was when I got my job, it was enough to be able to. It started, it was only $20 an hour at the time, and I was able to get my own health insurance. Boom.
People will kill for $20
So-
an hour right now.
so
Like,
now I was
niggas
able to
saying,
get
like,
off
oh,
my
you know,
own-
making $20 an hour.
I was able to get off my own
Motherfucker.
health insurance, right? But I still have my car and my insurance and blah blah under my parents' name, and I was just paying them. And then eventually I started getting credit. Then it took a little while. Every time I go to the dealership, oh yeah, your payment's gonna be $350 to $400. Have a good day. And your insurance probably gonna be $200.
Out of here.
Or you can stay with your parents, pay them $150 and put on their credit, whatever, and you be, So then I had to wait. Then I started establishing myself a little bit. Then I was able to get my car under my name, then my insurance under my name,
But,
and then eventually, blah blah blah. You break away.
That's
But-
kind of why I say that.
no, but
because-
see, here's my issue though. Then the reason that he was doing that, right, is because he was going to get a certain car that was going to cost him the $350 under his name, and the insurance, the $200 insurance under his name. He wanted to live a certain lifestyle and was using his parents to do it.
Bro, that was a bullshit fucking Sebring.
It doesn't
And, no,
matter.
And the neon,
It does-
and
it-
the neon, and the
it-
Dodge Neon
but-
was that high too.
But I understand that, but you were using your parents to do it. You didn't need a new car at the same time.
Yo,
It wasn't a new
but
car.
what's wrong with
They were
wanting to
used
save a
cars.
buck?
The Neon was not a used car.
there
It
isn't
was
wrong.
used car.
There's
That
not
was-
wrong with it.
Ah,
Yes, it
yeah.
was. It was a used
Yo,
car.
but what's
I think
wrong
my
with
parents were-
wanting to save a buck?
What happened?
What's wrong with wanting to save a couple dollars?
There's nothing wrong with wanting to save a couple dollars, but at the same time, if you're gonna be one of these fucking people that are going to buy a 3 Series BMW and then be under your parents' name on your loan and on your insurance, like, no, get your fucking shit together, man, the fuck up. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? You want to live this lavish lifestyle, but you need mommy and daddy to do it. That don't make sense to me. Like, maybe it's just my mentality.
In that sense, I would agree. I agree with you because if you want to portray this, oh, I got it lifestyle, then have it on your own.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
agree. I agree with you 100%.
That's a lot of what it
Is
represents.
it on your own if you're paying for it, but just getting a cheaper rate, but still paying for it?
No, because it's the means that
See,
you're going about it.
You know what I mean? I'm curious about that.
I see what
Because
you're
it's
saying.
almost like, yo, I'm hooking you up with a discount, but you still got to pay for that.
You
portion.
need mommy and daddy to do it. That's the point of the matter. At the end of the day, if your parents weren't involved in that, no, you wouldn't have that 3 Series, bro.
Right. That's kind of where I agree with Frank Unk because if God forbid the parents weren't in the picture, if you if you have to decide whether choosing the Honda Civic or the M3, you're gonna go with the Honda Civic because that's what you could afford at that moment. Like that's what you got.
Nah, I probably still put. I mean, if it was me.
Oh,
I
you mean you figure it out without mommy and daddy? That's my point. And
Yeah,
that
I still would.
answer-
It would
that-
just cost a lot more, and it would
that
suck.
that answers your question as to why the older generations puts a stigma on the younger generations, because the younger generation doesn't understand the level of work needed to the same degree to achieve certain things that you want in life. They take the easy way out. Like I'm saying, taking that BMW on the mommy and daddy's credit, instead of going
Yeah,
through
but you
going
can't-
through life circumstance and riding around in that Civic instead. They can't survive without mom and dad. They can't handle
Believe it or
that,
not,
that
But see,
situation.
but I don't.
and,
I see now.
and
Now,
not
now
even to
I
be a
gotta
case
stick-
about
I gotta-
survival.
listen,
because
I gotta
mean,
take a step
technically,
back.
I mean, they can still afford it. I mean, in my case, I definitely can still afford it, but it's cheaper to go this way.
as much
That's
as
that's
right,
what I-
it's
that's what
harder.
my-
You be make it. Mommy and daddy are making your life easier. That's the point. That is the point of the matter. You need mommy and
Yes, but
daddy
if you-
to
but if
make
you
your
can-
life easier.
Listen,
so
but
you're
if
not
you-
an independent. You're not independent. You're not an adult because you're relying on your parents.
listen.
But see, here's the thing that I struggle with in that concept, because if I can get the discount via
Everybody likes
my
a hookup,
parents,
bro.
via my parents, and why not?
Everybody likes a hookup. Excuse me.
If I'm paying for everything on my own, like if all they're doing is just co-signing, and I'm on the I'm on,
You're not doing it on your own though. No matter how you slice it, you're
It's
not
okay
doing
to
it
a
on your
point,
own.
but up to a
regardless whether I'm
certain
doing it on
point,
my
it's not
own.
okay no more. Can we agree? It's okay to a certain age. It's okay to a certain point, but again,
But then it becomes a question: what's the point though?
I mean,
At what
you ain't
point?
gonna listen. It depends on what it is. If
Like I don't think people should be driving
you just
fancy
say less
cars off
money,
their parents' dime.
Going with-
hear me
going
out,
this
hear
way,
me out,
paying
hear
for
me
that.
out.
But how are they doing it off?
Can
off
y'all,
of
I
their
ain't even
dime?
saying that in man long.
Nigga, we got into
you
a
wanna be
conversation. You
outside
went out and had a
smoking and
So
cigarette.
then I have something to say now. I ain't nothing to say before.
It's a fucking
Wait
hopscotch,
your
motherfucker.
turn.
At 18, if your father give you a couple $100,000, not $100,000, $100 to help you get a car, your first hoopty, nothing wrong with that. If I'm 35 years old and I have my business going, but I need a couple $1,000 to keep my business going, are we going to be mad at you? Are you gonna call your parent? Are you gonna say that you couldn't do it without your parent? But I already started this business. I just need a couple. So I guess it's all about context and certain circumstances and certain ages. Now, if I'm the same age and I'm looking to borrow a couple $1,000 just to do nothing, you know what I mean? Just to because my bills is not caught up. That's something different.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
So
different.
I guess it's all about context. You're right and you're right, but we can't just paint everything black and white because, again, if I can find if a business bank is turning me down for a loan and I can't get no loan nowhere else and my parents got the money and I need this loan for my business, you're gonna blame me because I went to.
No, not at all. But see, here's the difference.
But it's
in
still
what
a
you're
handout
saying.
that I wouldn't have gotten.
And are
otherwise
you still
without
relying
them.
on mom and dad?
I understand that. No, here's where it's not relying on mom and dad. Because if you're paying your parents back the same way that you would be paying a bank, you're not relying on mom and
But-
dad, and that's the
What's-
difference.
but-
No, but,
then
no,
what's
but
the
it's
difference
still a
with the
break
car?
there. There's still a break there because you don't have to fill out no applications.
You don't gotta
have
pay
to
them
sign
interest?
No agreements. You don't have to do nothing. You just go
You ain't
and
paying
you
them
promise
interest?
your,
No.
your
All right, well,
parents
first
back.
of all, the stuff that you're talking about is a choice. That everything outside of the application, you should still sign an agreement.
Are you paying
should still
interest?
pay
I'm
your
not
parents
signing no
interest.
agreement. That would be a slap in the face as a parent and as a child.
Not
to
at
have
all.
What
to
is the-
sign an agreement.
I
What
don't
is the
think so.
What kind of
difference?
relationship
Listen,
is this?
what is
Listen, when I got into my businesses, my family helped me. My grandmother and my parents helped me,
You made
and I
this-
have every intention of paying them back.
You made
And
they made you
and-
sign agreements.
If they would have, I
Did
would
they?
have. They didn't, but I would have.
That's my point. And you know why they didn't? Because that's not what you do.
no,
That's why.
I'm not.
You're right.
I'm not disagreeing
It's
with you, but what
What-
I'm saying is, if they did, I would have because I understand. Because you know what, you're still talking about
But that's the
money.
privilege. Again,
That's the privilege.
you
of
say
family.
even though I agree with you, even though you're paying the money back, yes. But that loan you wasn't getting from nowhere else. You didn't have
Yo,
to go through no
what
hoops,
is-
and
I
you
understand
needed
that. I
your
don't.
family
listen,
and your parents to get the
Let me
hoops.
let me ask a
So
question.
it's the same kind of benefit.
What's the difference between John's scenario
Mhm.
and you using your parents to get a car because they have the credit and you don't?
I guess there is none.
Got him.
I guess there is none.
So technically,
May-
so
but
technically
may-
speaking,
may-
you're not being. So technically speaking, you're not reliant of your parents.
You know what?
then.
You know what the difference is? Actually, there is a difference, and it's need. You don't.
All right,
don't
so
need.
fine. So
you
let-
don't need the fancy
So
car.
let me. So let me. So all right. So
You
let's
don't-
take.
Well, because
let's
it's-
take the
because
fancy
you
car
got
out of this.
Because somebody co-sign to help you get it.
Let
don't
me
mean
take.
it's
Let's take the
Huh?
fancy
no,
car.
I'm no, because what I was talking about while you were doing your thing
Yes.
was I don't understand the people that need to go get these fancy cars.
Oh, okay.
That,
That hood rich shit.
Okay.
right. That,
Well,
that's
there's
a really
a-
good way to put it.
There's
Dave.
an inherent need to, no matter what culture you are, this is humans, right? That's why there's fucking castles made of gold and shit, right? To stun on these hoes. That's that's human. That don't matter if you're black, white, Indian.
But
Look at the Taj Mahal. Look at these motherfucking places in Russia. Look at America. We got big fucking mountains with white people face on it. Nigga, we love to stunt as the human
The
race.
Taj Mahal was created to stunt.
Right.
The Taj Mahal for
Yeah,
sure
the
was
original
created
story,
for
yeah,
a
hell
female.
yeah.
It just stun on these hoes.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
And so
with
that's
that.
why. And so even though look,
Stun away.
we wind up getting into a recession in this country because we spent time stunting on these hoes with Hummers, and I'm telling you. So I mean, you're right. The logic behind it is wild, but that's a human condition. That is not just mommy and daddy. That is a human. Because guess what? Our parents.
I don't disagree with stunting though. I'm not talking about that.
Well,
I'm
even
talking about
using
stunting
somebody
with mommy
else's
and
money
daddy.
to do it.
No,
That's
that's
the-
the difference.
That is
though.
listen.
But that's the difference.
Listen, there's a businessman.
Number one
There's
stunt.
a businessman that made his whole business stunting on other people's money.
Exactly.
Right?
No, actually, that is the nature of all business.
Opening businesses, having them shut down, reaping the benefits. This nigga wound up being president, right?
True.
$1 million.
Bro,
$1 million.
you spend other people's money. That's how business is
That
done.
is
You
business.
never
That's the way
spend
business
your
is done.
own.
You never spend your own money.
You
That's
never
what it is.
spend your own money.
No, of course.
You
be
always
smart and
spend
you
somebody
work with the money
else's.
to get to certain-
That is
OPM,
the number one
OPM.
rule of business.
You don't spend your own
You
money.
never spend your own money.
You spend other
You
people's
always
money.
spend somebody
OPM.
else's.
Yeah.
If you can.
It's
then
amazing.
promise
It's
to
amazing
pay
how
them back.
backwards and
That's
awkward
how
shit
this
really.
country-
I'm not.
That's how this country is run.
It,
Is by spending
you
other
get,
people's
you
money.
get confrontational even when people don't
And you know
disagree
what?
with
And
you.
you know what's
I
funny?
know.
Like even with insurance and stuff, paying higher and everything like that. Fuck that. These people are freaking inflating their prices, inflating their premiums just to fuck you.
Because
But
you
you're
know
gonna
why?
pay more.
No,
just
wait.
to
You want
fuck
to?
you.
Wait,
People
wait.
are fucking
You
cheating
wanna
the
know why-
system.
No,
That's
no,
why.
And-
no,
and-
no,
Oh,
no,
I'm gonna charge
no,
this young
no.
kid is trying to stab
no.
himself $350
Yo,
a month in fucking
you want to know why?
insurance.
You want to know why they do
let-
that? You want to know why they do that? Because we fucking let them.
Exactly. So then when you circumvent the system, sometimes you're seen upon as, as needy or not.
No, when I said
Whatever
we
it is.
fucking let them, when your insurance company decides to raise
Not
your
an adult.
premiums,
You
and
don't got your
all
shit
of us
together.
have the same
Yeah, we
fucking
don't get shit together,
insurance, right? If we all have the same insurance, and they decide, yo, on this month, every single year, we're gonna raise our insurance, we're gonna raise the premium just a little bit, right? If we all come around every single year, we see, damn, why does this insurance keep going up for no damn reason? If we continue to pay these insurance companies that premium
Not questioning it.
without questioning them,
They keep going up.
and or saying, hey, give me a reason why you're charging me something every year, or I'm out of here. If we don't start doing it, and that's just not insurance, that's just everything.
That's every business ever.
Everything. If we don't start questioning these people and be like, yo, what is going on here? They're gonna continue to raise
right.
prices,
So,
raise
PJ,
prices, and we're still gonna be paying for them shit.
You're right. Like the whole like you're living off mommy and daddy, but guess what? That's how it's done. Listen,
No, but
the largest companies live off Uncle Sam's tax breaks. There always somebody looking out for you. If you don't have somebody looking out for you, giving you those lookouts, you're not going to succeed. I don't care how successful. Somebody looked out for Bill Gates. Somebody looked out for fucking Steve Jobs. Somebody looked out for fucking Mark Cuban. Somebody looked out for fucking Jeff Bezos. Somebody looked out for everybody out there.
You're absolutely right. And guess what? And if it's not
Everybody.
monetary, it's work done by friends or family.
One
whatever
way
it is.
or
Somebody's
another,
helping
one
you
way or
out in
another.
one way or another.
We see what our problem is. We are ingrained by our parents.
Right.
Hard work
But
gets
you
it
do-
done,
but-
and
Yeah.
hard work does get it done. But you also need somebody else. It can't never be your hard work plus somebody else equals success.
Whether it's your wife supporting you, whether
Well,
it's your
I'm trying to understand. Are you trying to say that somebody else helping you is a bad thing, or you're
No,
saying
no,
it's-
no.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to say that that's the only way you get to be anything on
Yeah.
earth.
I agree.
It's because and I don't want to say using somebody, but we all use people, right? Everybody uses people. It's whether you misuse people.
Yeah.
That's where
Or
things,
or become dependent, which kind of falls on
well,
line, or dependent on those people.
That's
which
all.
is-
That
which is the
falls
same
under
thing, misuse.
that falls under
And
misuse,
misuse,
right? So you always need people. You always need. I need y'all. Y'all need me for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? We all need each other.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
this works. If we don't have each other, this falls. But it's when the misuse comes, and that's
Right.
any
And
relationship.
that's why I feel like it should be used. That's why I said it's a progression. If anything, it should be used as a stepping stone. It should
Right.
be used as because your parents want to put you in a good position to actually succeed in life, right? And you want better for the kids, and you want to do better for your kids and stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, also you think about it. How would you feel if Leo all of a sudden was like, "I don't need any of your help. I'm fucking leaving. I don't care what you provided me. I gotta do it on my own because this is what society tells me to do." And motherfuckers struggling, be like, "Yo, I'm here to help you. I know you're hard working. It is what it is, but I also want to give you that extra hand that I didn't have." And then you do it to your kid.
Step up
There's-
is one thing, though.
We- yeah, but
I
we
don't. No,
ingrained-
I don't disagree with that at all.
But
A
we
step
ingrained
up
we
is one
ingrained
thing.
ourselves with such bullshit, like these idealistic things that don't really help you. Like, yeah, it's cool to have that spirit, that hard work. You can have a hard working spirit and still be like, "Hey, nigga,
Let me get
I
that
need you to do
hookup."
something for me."
Well, see, here's my
They're
thing.
not
All right,
exclusive.
so
My-
as a married man, wife, 4 kids.
Mhm.
If you found out you could save $50 on your car insurance by going back on your mom's insurance, would you do it?
No, nigga, I'm grown.
My point.
Because-
That's my point.
No, I'm
Right,
gonna come on
and
that
I'm not-
$50
and I'm not-
somewhere.
it's a
mindset.
mindset.
Right,
I
but
come
see,
up to
I'm
$50
not,
somewhere.
I'm not,
But
I'm not
that's what I'm saying.
disagreeing.
That's
Listen,
What is it?
That's
But
the
I guess it's
difference, though.
it's a
Listen.
state. So when I guess it's
The
whole
mindset, and
question,
that-
I'm not. I'm
when
not,
is that
I'm-
point where you're not doing that no more?
And this is where my question comes, because why should there be a time? Like I understand.
Would you go under
Would
your
you,
parents'
if you could
insurance
save
right now?
$50, would you go back on your father's insurance?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Honestly,
Maybe it's a
listen,
pride
I'ma
thing.
keep it a
Maybe it's
buck.
a
I'ma
pride
keep it a
thing.
buck. I feel
No,
like
no.
my wife would look at me.
It might be
And
like-
let me tell you something. My wife would too. And guess what, Mel? I don't care, because I can save that. And my way of thinking about it is, listen, here's my way of thinking about it. My way of thinking about it is, all right, cool. If my
gonna have
father
me-
can hold me down and I can save these $50, I could take this $50 and reinvest it into myself.
There are certain
And-
places
But you
where
can
I
take-
agree with you.
You can take
I-
care
I
of
think-
yourself.
I agree with
though.
you in certain places.
Figure out another way to make that
Right.
$50 and take care
Right.
of
Some-
yourself.
But
so-
what if,
something
but what if
so
that
small as
alleviates some of your
$50?
time?
Listen,
so that you can.
Right, you want mommy and daddy to make your life easier. That's what it's doing, and
But
I
that's
I
not
understand. But
making
so,
it-
but
it
that's
is
not-
because you don't have to put the time in to go figure out to make
No.
the $50 another way.
And it's not
It's
even
making
mommy
your
and daddy.
life
It could be your
easier.
homeboy,
Listen,
or you
listen,
got to hook up from
listen.
somebody
Nah,
else.
what if-
you can find
listen,
a cheaper
listen.
way of
Fuck
doing
that.
something?
Listen.
I'm a grown ass man.
Look.
I'm gonna figure my shit out.
Yo, listen,
What happens
Mommy
when-
and daddy's not gonna be there.
Right.
At
That's
some
what I was
point,
just
they're
about to
not
say.
gonna be
That's
there.
what I was just about to say.
Listen,
At what point
I
do you
get
say
it.
Nobody
enough?
said you can't.
I
He's just trying to find a
understand.
cheaper way.
Listen.
Nobody's
I
saying you can't.
I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree with it 100%. I do not disagree. What I'm saying is, if you have if you say, with the whole time situation that we just said, right? Say, for example, you literally have no time. Like, you're working 3 fucking jobs, 4 jobs. You're getting like 2 hours of sleep every single day. The wife at home, the kids at home. Like, you're literally trying here to make shit work. And if you're going on your parents' insurance, saving you that $50 might allow you to not work so many hours. You might still need the 3 jobs, but it might not. It might say, all right, on the 3rd job, you might be able to get out of work 2-3 hours earlier to, one, either spend more time with your family that you're not doing, or it'll allow you to take those $50 and now maybe you want to decide to start up a business.
Hold up.
And allows you to take that.
Can we
Yeah,
discuss
I'm
why?
listening
Can
to
we
you.
discuss why you have 4 jobs? I'm not saying you, but you have 4 jobs and you can't afford an extra $50 for your car insurance. Because 4 jobs.
Ask some people in the
all right.
Bronx.
Listen,
Ask some
the-
people in the
working
Bronx.
4
the
jobs
numbers-
in the Bronx.
the numbers are
There's
relative.
people who work 3
Numbers are
jobs,
just-
3 or 4 jobs, bro, with no days off. And I've
You
spoken
got a
to
coke
them.
problem. I don't know.
Coke.
So, yo, bro, the shit don't make sense, bro. Minimum wage in New York City is $15. So if anybody is
And
working
that still
4
ain't
jobs,
enough.
I understand, but bro, You're right. In certain circumstances, if I need to, like, hey, Dad, my lawnmower broke down and I have no other way to cut my grass, and they about to find me because my shit's that high. Can you bring your zero turn over here and cut my shit?
No, figure it out.
He probably would say that, but I wouldn't feel guilty about doing that. Now, these niggas cut my lights off. I'm not going to call him and be like, yo, Dad, they cut my lights off. Hey.
That's where I would feel guilty on. I would wholeheartedly feel guilty.
How is that any different? How is that any different? Damn, we on some contradiction shit today.
My spider senses
I
are
would-
tingling.
I because you know what? That is your fucking responsibility. If your lights cut off, you should be the one.
Your insurance is going up. Is your responsibility? It's all your responsibility.
I understand that, but if you have the ability to free up,
For asking
And
your
stopping-
father
and
for the
stop-
money is freeing up money that you don't have to pay for your lights to be turned on. No matter where you,
You're not
free
gonna
up-
go asking your
Yo,
father.
that's what happens. You got an entrepreneur.
No
that-
matter where you
that-
free.
that-
Thinking past.
No,
my
that's not
pride
fuck-
issues
Don't
and
come with no
fucking other
fucking
shit.
entrepreneur
Yeah,
mind.
that's
bullshit.
bullshit.
Yes, it is.
Fuck outta
That's
here,
exactly
bro.
what it is.
'Cause you
He's,
know what?
he's thinking outside the fucking
Let me-
box.
let me ask-
Why the fuck
So
not?
do this then. So then do this. Both of y'all go do this. Go ask your parents.
yo,
for,
keep your
Nah,
your
fuck
your
that.
people
Y'all
to
gotta be
yourself,
right.
bro.
In
Go
the
ask
past-
go ask your parents for $50 a month then.
In the
Just do
past,
that.
in
Just
the
do that.
past, I
Why
would
would I
have.
do that? Why?
You want to save $50 on your fucking car insurance by switching to Geico, motherfucker?
Ah,
Go
got it.
ahead.
What do you
What's
mean?
the
What do you
difference?
mean? Why would
What's
I
the
ask
di- What's the
I don't
difference?
need to.
What's the difference between saving $50 by being on their insurance every month versus asking them for $50 to help you pay for your own fucking insurance? How is it any fucking different?
There is none.
There is zero difference.
What do you mean there's zero difference?
Just give me the extra money.
If you're on his insurance and you're saving $50 so you can put that in your pocket so you don't have to go work some extra hours, you might as well just go to him, hey Pop, can you give me
No,
$50?
but you're not giving it out of his pocket. That's completely fucking different.
Now
than
you-
How is
paying
it
some-
any different? You're asking it.
He's giving you fucking money. So now he's
Yo, it's
selling you
different.
50 fucking bucks rather than you paying exactly what is asked by the insurance company, which is cheaper than what you would be paying.
Right.
Yeah,
You're paying out of
it's
his
the-
pocket
I-
money.
He's
You're
giving,
right.
he's
50
giving
bucks.
you
You're right.
money.
But there's a principle and a pride behind that, and I'm just sorry. Like again,
There is pride
in the
behind
past,
that.
I have asked my father for money for help. Hey, nigga, I'm young and stupid. Please help. I don't like, fix it. Like fix it because I don't fix it, nigga, because I don't know what I'm doing. Right? But I just turned 34. I now today could not go do that. Even if it
But
was
why?
okay to do it,
Yeah,
I
agree.
listen,
I agree.
I'm about to go sell everything in this motherfucking house before I decide to go ask
Well,
my father.
because
for
it
something.
goes back to what we're saying. Once you hit a certain point, it's just like
Well,
you should have got that shit
yeah,
together.
and so there's at some point, no matter how it
what's that
depends on the
point?
sticky situation. It depends. Hey, I'm not gonna be there to pick up Juju off the bus. Can you help me? That's okay. You go do that because that's happened.
Nah, figure it out.
No, you,
Nah,
as-
you man, get your shit together.
No.
Figure it out.
nigga,
You know what I'm saying?
No, number
Like,
one, I
where do
wouldn't
we draw
ask
the
my
line?
father, ask my mother, because she'll do it, and they live a mile down the road. If you don't do that, there's a real problem. But anyway, love you, Mom. No, there's levels to it, I guess, and there's context to everything.
There needs to be an end.
Yeah.
You know, like
And that's firmly where I believe there has to be some sort of progression. You have to be building to a certain point because if you don't, then like you said, then it's abuse and then
Yeah.
misuse and then you're not being your own person.
that's
but-
my point. At some
you gotta
point,
build
at
to
some
that.
point, you have to be.
You got to build that credit. You
You
got to
have to
build
be
that
responsible
insurance.
for
My-
yourself.
If you can't afford it in the beginning, shit, you got to do something first.
My thing,
and then
my
eventually
my
suck it up.
my logic is there's a difference between a lambong and somebody who just needs help. A lambong is like a freeloader.
A smoocher.
A bum.
Yeah, there's a difference between a freeloader.
Where's the line of demarcation?
When a nigga's
When
not,
if you are living on your own, but you're constantly going back to your parents' house for like food, or asking them all the time for let me get $20 for this or $20 for that, or like if you're doing that, you
Hey,
clearly
I
don't-
did
you-
that.
you-
I
you're being
did it to
dependent.
my. I did it to my in my
You're
early
being
20s,
dependent.
21, 22.
being-
I need $20 for gas.
You're being dependent. I'm sorry.
yeah,
You're
but
being dependent.
eventually,
And the reason why I'm saying all this stuff too is because in today's world, yes, it's hard as hell to have your shit together
I don't
and
disagree with that.
and be so. Yes, you may
I just
need,
think
you
that-
may need help.
there might be some truth to the myth that our generation is half pussy,
so what end?
but
though?
not
That's my
that
point.
much. But not how you think.
Yeah, you mean listen. You have to have some.
We're
some
not
goal.
capable.
You have to have some
So
goal.
what?
Exactly.
So I go back to like go back to asking the question to Wayne, because a lot of shit comes down to what sacrifices are you willing to make.
Look, man, you
A
can't.
lot. And in your situation, you working 3 jobs, you got the kids at home, the wife at home. I get like that's different. I get it. You're talking about extreme, right?
Right.
Shit don't go like that for most people. So
I mean, listen, if you are not working to your progression, like to your better self, and you're just freeloading off mom and dad because hey, shit is just too damn expensive, and you're not trying to figure out.
So let me ask
then-
the question: is the person that's working to the better self, do they really need that BMW on mommy and daddy's insurance and on mommy and daddy's credit?
No.
My point. That's my point. You're using at that point. You're using your parents.
Yeah, but I mean, listen. What if they wanted to get the Honda instead?
And that's different though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, see,
if
in
you're
your
doing
context-
it to a point where it's just to help better yourself, right?
Right.
To help you establish yourself, that's different
Yeah,
versus
that's-
using your parents and doing things in excess because of them.
There's use and misuse.
Right. I mean, okay. This
There's
is why-
use
this
and
is-
abuse.
This is why I say I agree with you guys, but then the disagreement was that because my whole thought was when we were talking about was with your whole fancy car thing. I was in my mind, I'm just like, yo, no, yeah, you don't need the fancy car. I'm sorry.
It's a gray
If you-
area.
if you living at home with your mom, yeah, you need a Honda Civic, bro. You don't need the M3.
Yeah, but
Even if you could afford the M3 under your mom's name, nah, bro.
A
If
lot
you
of
can
people aren't
afford,
doing that.
yeah, if you can afford the M3 on your mom and dad's name, then you can afford to get out. I'm sorry. Stop fronting.
See?
Stop fronting.
Listen.
Get out. Now, if you can't afford the M3 and you can afford the Civic and you gotta live at home with your mom, then by all means do your thing, bro. Because you know what, you gotta get to work, or you gotta do your things. You gotta run your errands. So
I used to have an M3, and I had to sell that because it was too much once I came back to New York and got out of the army. It was just too much.
Ray, what? Okay. Out there, would shit that goes on like in this context, this conversation be looked at like crazy, or is it kind of like, is it the privileged mainland life that we talking about, or is this kind of shit go on out in Puerto Rico too?
Well, I don't know if it. I mean, I don't know everybody's life over here, but I'm sure it happens the same over here. There's people that are dependent on their parents. There's people that
Well, I mean, with the people that
use
you
their
interact
parents to get. What was that?
with the people that you interact with, like, do you see a lot of the younger generation, like, high teens, 20s, that are reliant the same way?
I don't really interact with high teens, 20s people. To be honest, I don't really interact with anybody outside of what I'm doing. So I can't speak for those people. What I can speak for is that I think it's a generational thing where it's just where it comes to the point that people that are growing up don't know how to fend for themselves and they figure out other ways. But there's also on the other side the people that have that entrepreneurial mindset and take advantage of the situation and leverage, not necessarily take advantage, but leverage what they have available so that they can get that, next couple steps up.
That's a pretty damn good summary of that whole conversation. I feel like that conversation took forever, and you just summed it up in like 10 seconds.
That's what Ray does,
Ray,
though.
yeah.
That's it. He takes it all in. All right.
Fucking shit, man.
Summarize like a motherfucker.
Like, I feel like I got all excited, and he just laid it out.
Did his thing.
I mean, it was just so melancholy and mellow.
That's Ray, man.
Like, it was just delivered in such a peaceful manner. It's kind
That's
of
Ray,
Kept
bro.
it real, straight to the point.
fuck. I want to get very angry at one point. Just saying.
Yo, but on a similar note, Ricardo Rosselló was somebody that depended on his father for almost everything, and because of that, it's gotten him to the point that he's in right now. waiting for daddy to get him X, Y, and Z or get him out of this pickle that he's in.
Wow.
See,
I don't think anybody's gonna help him out of this one.
it all wraps back around.
Full circle.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for tuning in. I am Frank, aka PJ, here with Jonah,
Later.
John,
Peace.
Ray,
Dale ahí.
and Fabian. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, we are all alphas at something. Peace.